Hey, hello there, and welcome to this edition of the EV Revolution Show. My name is Kenneth Borcour, your host for this episode, where it's a special episode where I'm featuring the manufacturer VinFast from Vietnam. Now, I talked about them earlier last year and got a tremendous uptake, and I've been following these guys for quite some time. I talked about them a few shows ago as well. Well, they've come out with a lot more stuff since the Los Angeles Auto Show. They've come out with a full reveal of their products, so I want to take this episode to devote specifically to VinFast so that you can learn a lot more about it. So thanks for tuning in on YouTube. If you are, appreciate you taking the time. So just sit back and let me get you up to speed, I guess, with VinFast. Now, one of the OEMs that I did leave off of my 2022 list of EVs hitting the shores, that episode I did a little while ago, was VinFast. And they are aggressively rolling into the North American and European markets. And last week, they laid out their North American plans at CES 2022 in Las Vegas. Now, these plans include launching 5 new all-electrics for the U.S. market, targeted at the subcompact, compact, midsize, and full-size segments. And these are named the VF5, 6, 7, VF8, and VF9. For Canada, they will provide 4 of these vehicles, the VFs 6, 7, 8, and 9 models. And all of these models are SUVs. Now, before I get into the vehicle details, here is an interview I did last week with one of the VinFast Auto executives. We talked about who VinFast is, what is their background, and further details into their 2022 plans. So sit back and listen to this interview. All right, so as part of this episode, I've been fortunate enough to reach out and connect with some people here in VinFast Auto Canada, and I've got Mr. Hans Alsred. He's the Chief Sales Officer for VinFast Auto Canada, here on the Zoom call. Hi, Hans. How are you, sir?
Hi, Kenneth. I'm great. I'm just back from CES and our launch of 3 new vehicles, and things couldn't be better.
It's an exciting time for VinFast, and I thought I would get yourself on the line just to spend a few minutes to kind of bring a little bit more of a corporate perspective on what I'm talking about, all the announcements that came out of CES over the last day or so. As some of my viewers and listeners know, I've been following the company for well over a year now, and very, very pleased with the progress that you guys have made. You guys are really coming out of the gate hard to try to, be a dominant player in the North American, European, and other markets, as well as the local markets in Vietnam. But maybe you could start off by telling some of my listeners and watchers, who the company is and where you guys come from.
So Vin Group was founded in 1993. Our chairman, he actually made his first fortunes back in Ukraine as a younger man, and his vision always was to create a better life and environment for people in Vietnam. So he actually traveled back from Ukraine, came to Vietnam, started Vin Group in 93, and got into all different sectors of business. Our primary sectors are real estate. Right now, we're in technology. We are in schools, as well as manufacturing with VinFast. We have Vin AI, Vin Brain, Vin Medic with hospitals. So we're really multidisciplinary as far as we cover many different sectors. We employ over 45,000 people in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. If you travel to Vietnam, everybody knows who Vin is. It is a large organization. Our market capitalization right now of our main businesses is over $37 billion. And climbing regularly. So we're very excited to bring the Vin brand to North America and other parts of the world, and that should be happening very shortly. Yeah. So what was announced of what's, obviously led from the LA Auto Show, but now officialized at CES, is the push into North America, right? So you guys have started delivering some product locally in Vietnam from a VinFast Auto perspective. And these are the new EVs. So you have been building internal combustion vehicles in the past. My understanding as well is I think you've been one of the outsourced partners for, I think, BMW to build product for them. Is that correct? Well, that was our initial relationship, was to actually partner with some of the leading auto manufacturers, engineering firms, everybody kind of surrounding that sector.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we built our first manufacturing facility in Vietnam. And that was built in under 2 years in record time, essentially on swampland. And but
so you got a deal on the property, but that's another story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another story, but
Yeah.
but an incredible achievement to do it in such a short period of time, and to build a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility that could build premium and luxury vehicles at volume. So we can build up to 250,000 vehicles out of our current facility. It can be expanded in a short period of time up to 500,000 vehicles. So it has that ability. Those initial partners, those were in the ICE marketplace. It brought us to market in Vietnam quickly with, and we became the leaders in each one of our segments. It gave us our footing or our foundation in the automotive market. I will say that our chairman didn't plan to be in ICE for long. His vision was EVs. This was his long-term and is his long-term vision, that it isn't just to make the world a better place for people in Vietnam. It's to make the world a better place for all of its inhabitants. So that was really why he wanted to push into EVs, and hence why the large announcement was made by Madam Tui, our chairman, the CEO of VinFast Global, that we will be moving away from ICE production by the end of 2022. So that's big news. Some people ask, well, why did you move to VF8 and 9 from the 35 and the 36? And this is because we've moved away from an E, and all of our vehicles will be electric going forward.
Yeah, that was quite the announcement that I heard too as well yesterday, which is again profound, because up until that, there was really only one other major OEM that has announced, that has put a flag in the ground to say we're going to stop, building ICE vehicles by a certain date. So, this is a trend we're going to continue to see, and for, VinFast to kind of be a thought leader in that and execute on it before anybody else, I think is a big deal. And I'm glad that you talked about the manufacturing experience and capabilities, because that really sets the arena for the North American marketplace, because obviously consumers are going to be wondering, well, I don't know these guys. It's another new player. It's another brand I've never heard of. What's the quality going to be like? What's the product going to be like? But you have that heritage, you have that experience already in building, luxury, premium, and very thought out and well designed and engineered and safe vehicles, right? A lot of stuff about meeting 5-star crash standards across the board. So, these are going to be very competent vehicles that are coming to North America, because we are kind of a picky marketplace, are we not here?
100%. Quality is one of our key components of coming to North America and building our current cars. So I would say that you're right, that we need to be able to we need to be able to share that. We need to be able to build trust with Canadian consumers. I think a key component of that will be having media like yourself come over to Vietnam to experience the engineering facility and to be able to share that with viewers, to show the level of technology that we're operating at, our paint booths, stamping facilities, all of the components, the assembly. I think people need to experience that, whether it be through media or in person, to understand that we are building cars at the highest level of quality.
Now, so for that North American push then, so you have the capabilities to support growth immediately in the plant capabilities, as you mentioned. My understanding is that you're going to be building out nationwide networks of dealers or stores, or a combination of programs to provide coverage, maybe in the US initially, in some of the ZEV states. I'm not sure. In Canada, again, it could start provincially, at certain areas and then scale from there. Can you add a little bit more details to those plans?
So our retail plans in the US are quite clear. They enter into the California market, and it's obviously very favorable for EVs, and it's a natural. In Canada, we will be entering 3 provinces into the kind of the greater populace and highest number of EVs that are being sold. So we'll look to enter into BC, Ontario, and Quebec, and then we'll look at supporting the major metropolitan areas first. So that would be Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal. And then in Quebec, I would even extend to say that we'll be looking to support outside of Quebec. It's a very key market for us. So supporting Quebec City outside of Quebec, because charge infrastructure they have is exceptional. EV incentive eligibility. There's many different reasons. Clean electricity. There's many reasons why to support Quebec. But then in Ontario, we'll look to support all of the GTA. And then we'll start to expand out from the GTA kind of in a phased approach. And then that will get us through phase 1 and 2. And then our phase 3 will actually look to move into different provinces across Canada. The East Coast obviously has EV incentive eligibility for certain vehicles. And I would also say that even if there is a customer on the East Coast, or we have a number of customers, we will also offer mobile service. And that is a nice ability that we'll be able to give if we had customers from outside of the province, to be able to support them, as they, express interest and acquire a VinFast vehicle.
And, that concept maybe 5 years ago or more than 5 years ago may have been frowned upon, but now it's a normal practice that we're seeing from more and more OEMs and vendors start to utilize, so you'll have a combination, I take it, of dealers, of, local dealer establishments, and then a road warrior type of base to be able to provide after sales service to customers, correct?
100%. So if you look at it, that EVs don't need the same service that a traditional ICE car would have. They actually, if you look at a lot of EV facilities now, they don't need the same number of four-post lifts. Like they don't need to be brought off the ground. Much of the servicing can be done on the ground in a customer's driveway. So mobile service has become very popular in the EV space. We'll see more of that, and we'll be able to support our customers' mobile service, but also we'll have, I hate to say dealerships because we aren't franchise, we're direct to consumer, but they will be sales and after sales facilities. We term those as 3 S's, and those will be in all of the major markets in the 3 provinces, and then we'll expand out from there. And then we have 1 S's, and the 1 S's will be more of our studio or showroom that we'll have in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. And then we have something called 2 S's, which more are like a service factory. It's a model that I think many EV customers have become, direct to consumer EV customers have become more attuned to.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense. And that's what we're seeing happening. And, to back that up, you guys are offering an industry almost unknown warranty of 10-year, 70% degradation on the battery pack. I mean, to stand behind the quality of the product.
I think this is one of our, we'll call it silver bullets, that nobody is paying as much attention to. There's all the models, but this is one of the greatest attributes of the VinFast vehicle and brand, is the 10-year warranty. And it came from our chairman. He said, I want to beat all other manufacturers out there. I want to have an industry leading warranty. And if everybody, if there's other people at 7 years, 10 years, 200,000 kilometers, comprehensive warranty. And then to also offer battery leasing and to be able to cover people. And, the battery is one of the challenges, or maybe it's one of the roadblocks for many new customers to move into EVs, is they're concerned about the lifespan. So he brings in battery leasing that, protects the state of health, anything under 70% state of health, after X number of years or up to 10 years is going to be covered. So you would get a new battery out of that. And so it takes one of those worries out of there. But that 10-year warranty, it's a big deal. So I'm excited to introduce that for sure.
Now, the vehicles that we're talking about, we don't need to go into details because I am covering that on this episode, but in very much detail. But the vehicles that are slated for North America, there's 5 for the US. These cover the A, B, C, D, and E segments. They're all SUVs. So from small compact SUVs to large, 6, 7 passenger SUV styles in the different segments. In Canada, we're slated to get, the VF7 and 8 models first earlier on, and because those are the popular ones, and then another 2, maybe a third one after that at some point in time. Is that correct from what we expect to see here in Canada?
Right now in North America, we are slated to only get 4 models. And so that is only going to be the VF6, 7, 8, and 9.
So we're the 5 that was shown in CES may not come to North America.
Yeah, the orange VF5 may not come, although I was quite taken with the vehicle. I thought it was very interesting. I've seen others have success in that
Yeah.
market, and everything is based off of price. So right now our plan is the 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those will come to Canada, and we'll see the 8 and 9 come first
Hmm.
in late 22 and early 23 for the 9, and then we'll see the 6 and 7 come in late 23.
Because I take it that these will be sharing platforms and a lot of components across the different model and trim lines. So you'll be able to hopefully keep your costs very competitive towards the other manufacturers that are in this space.
Yeah, that is correct. The engineers are working diligently on that sharing of products across the different models. I will say that what is different from us, from any other manufacturer, is to introduce 5 models within a 2 month time frame.
Mhm.
I've never seen this before.
Either have I.
And,
No, that was quite a lot.
and I've been with some major automotive manufacturers, and this is how we do things at VinFast. Nothing is slow, everything is fast. We have high quality engineering design. We are nimble. We operate differently than our technology. We have all of our supporting partners as well as our own in-house teams working. So it really is. It's inspiring and exciting to see 5 cars come to market. We're disruptive, is what I guess the best word is in the automotive space. So we're really as excited as you are to see a new player come to market. We're equally as excited.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there as well. That's what I'm saying to people is I think you guys are a disruptor. Going to be a lot of people looking at the organization with a very compelling product. I know you don't have pricing in Canadian dollars yet. That hasn't been announced. It'll be coming later this year. We've got some US stuff, so we can kind of maybe figure things out. I am hopeful that you might be able to fit at least one of those models and trim packages into the current federal rebate standard or incentive standard that we have here in Canada. Obviously, the provincials can be layered and stacked on top of that to become even more compelling for provinces like Quebec and BC. I know you can't give me pricing, but I'm, nudge wink. I'm hopeful that I know you guys are thinking about this. It's important and that something will happen there.
It's definitely top of mind for our whole team and has been for the year that I've been with the company. I know that Canadians, to get more Canadians into EVs, some level of incentive makes it an easier decision to move to an EV. The technology is there, the range is there, the charge times are there, and now we're looking at pricing. So, and this is part of our new innovative battery leasing program, is the ability to take out, approximately 30% of the price and put it off, decouple it from the car and the chassis price to have a lower MSRP. Obviously, you can see that we have a lower price, and therefore some of our models, there is the potential that we're close to the EV incentive level. And this is a discussion that is ongoing with different levels of government, both provincial and federal. We obviously have very aggressive targets and timelines for EV adoption across Canada laid out federally for us. And if we're actually to hit these, we need to have innovative ways for customers to purchase EVs. And I think when you, and to, as far as EV incentive, eligibility, I think when you look at what we're doing, this is a very innovative way to do it. To decouple the battery, it takes one of the stresses out of not knowing how the health of the battery is going to be. It takes a major cost out. It amortizes that cost over a longer period of time, and it actually lowers the overall payment from our analysis of what it would be if you were to use a traditional model of lease, finance, or cash. So we are working hard at this. So we're holding off a little bit, to the end of the first quarter to reveal Canadian pricing, but rest assured that we are watching EV eligibility, but we're also looking at the pricing in the US, and we want to make sure that we're equitable to Canadian consumers so they're getting, a fair price on our vehicles as well.
It's excellent, and I think a lot of us are hopeful that we will see some national mandates come forward. And I did want to kind of close off on that. So we've got a good understanding of timelines. We've got a good understanding of kind of the initial models that are coming. We'll get pricing. We've got some good feedback on supportability. Is there anything you want to add for consumers that are watching this and that are thinking, that gee, maybe there's an EV on the horizon for me? I'm calling 2022 the year of the EV because there's just so much happening that's actually going to start hitting the streets, from the number of models and all the things that have been going on for the last few years in the backgrounds are going to finally starting to achieve. Anything you want to close off to those listeners and tell about VinFast?
What I'd say is this: we Madam Tui introduced some exciting programs in the US. So that's the VinFirst program. Mm-hmm. And this is driven by our chairman and really the expansion of the VinFast brand. We've had lots of excitement and interest about the VinFirst program from Canadian consumers saying, can I reserve a car? How do I take part in this? And they're excited about this. And there's many benefits to the VinFirst program. So right now, many of the questions are, well, is this applicable in Canada? Well, not today, but it is on the radar. It will be brought to Canada, VinFirst program, at an equivalent level to the US savings. So that's exciting. That is a reason for many Canadians to sit patiently, learn more about VinFast. Along with that, we're including a charger, we're including ADAS service. So there's many benefits to the VinFast program. So that's what I would say is that, outstanding warranty, a very innovative battery leasing program that's going to be introduced, a customer-centric company, and really an expansion plan that is aggressive. We're not looking at just opening one store, in each market. We're looking at opening many stores in each market and really supporting our customers from the service side. So people should keep an eye on us. Follow us on Instagram and the social channels, because we will be making announcements in the next or in this quarter for our own VinFirst program for Canada, and we'll be excited to take those reservations in Canada and welcome VinFirst customers to our company.
Well, I look forward to that, and I also look forward to eventually seeing a press vehicle or two so that I can drive around and do some reviews on. And I would absolutely love to get to Vietnam if there's an opportunity for that, to see and really get a sense of where the company's roots are and what you guys have built already. There's a lot being put on the table here that you guys are doing that some of the listeners and watchers may not be aware of. So definitely follow you guys, check you out, and just keep checking for those reservations when they come online. It's going to be an exciting year for you guys. Very happy. And again, thanks very much, Hans, for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to sit with me for a few minutes to talk about the company.
Thank you very much, Kenneth, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in.
Well, I hope you enjoyed learning more about VinFast as a company and their culture and how they plan to support their global expansion and customers here in Canada and the US and abroad. Now, let me talk about the vehicles that they've launched. As I mentioned, all 5 are pure electric vehicles that offer impressive and modern exteriors and a sporty yet clean design language. Most of the initial information is focused on the VF8 and 9 models, as they are the first models available for sale. So for the vehicle specifications, let me first look at the VF8. Now the VF8 is a mid-size crossover SUV that seats 5. Maximum power comes from dual motors providing 300 kilowatts or 402 horsepower and 472 pound-feet of torque. Now this should push the VF8 from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 5.5 seconds. WLTP estimated range is stated at 317 miles or 509 kilometers. And pricing that was announced for the VF8 starts at a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $41,000 US, which is 36,133 euros, or 961 million VND. Now the VF9 is a full-size crossover SUV that can seat up to 7. Max power comes from the same powertrain as the VF8, which due to the larger size and weight of the VF9 increases its 0 to 60 miles per hour time to 6.5 seconds. WLTP estimated range is stated at 422 miles or 679 kilometers. So I guess it's a safe bet that this model will have the largest battery pack offering in their lineup. Starting MSRP is $56,000 US or 49,280 euros, 1.312 million VND. Now, no Canadian pricing has been announced yet, but as you heard in my interview with Hans, we should see that pricing later this year. No details on battery pack sizes were mentioned on either spec vehicle, but we do hope to get that information very soon. With regards to build quality and safety, both vehicles are targeted to meet the highest safety standards in the IIHS, the NHTSA, and the NCAP 5-star ratings, and are all equipped with 11 airbags as standard. Now, VinFast also provides the Advanced Driver Assistant Systems, known as ADAS. Now, ADAS features include things like traffic jam assist, highway assist, automatic lane changing assist, parking assistance, remote parking, and a whole lot more. For the connectivity side, all VinFast vehicles will offer over-the-air updates, and these two models can be optioned with smart services, including virtual assistant, remote control by the VinFast app, e-commerce service, video games, smart home, mobile office, in-car shopping, in-car entertainment, and many other convenient, advanced features that can create an exhilarating experience for every journey and everyday life. As standard, they will be equipped with Level 2 Plus autonomous driving features for the Eco and Plus versions and Levels 3 to 4 for premium versions. Now, folks, the key to read into all this is that they want to continue the customer experience well after owners drive out of the store lots with their vehicles. It seems that all the OEMs are recognizing the power of the connected customer experience, similar to like what Tesla has built for their vehicle owners, and pretty well all the other manufacturers, including VinFast, want to join that party. It's a newer way of doing business, and I think it's certainly the right path for them. VinFast is now taking reservations, as you've heard Hans talk in our interview, and for these two initial U.S. launch vehicles, and they have a fully refundable deposit of only $200 U.S. As also mentioned by Hans in the interview, VinFast is doing something unique and different in promoting early reservations. As an early reservation promotion, VinFast will also provide an e-voucher of $3,000 US towards the VF8 and $5,000 US towards the VF9. These e-vouchers are to be used at the time of sale against the purchase of the vehicle or options. Now, for all the details, I encourage you to check out the VinFast website. And yes, as Hans also said, they will be doing something similar for Canadian reservations, and I suspect for other countries too, when those markets open up. Also, don't forget that they are so sure of their success and products that they will offer a 10-year warranty on the battery with a 70-degree degradation level. I believe this is the longest period of a consumer auto battery warranty out there today. So folks, to summarize, I've been saying that VinFast really means business, and I believe they will be quite the disruptor this year, at least here in North America. With the backing of Vingroup, they seem to have the economic strength to move forward into the markets that they want to go to. So when I say a disruptor, I don't mean it in the sense of how many EVs they will sell and deliver this year, but really for the visibility that they are going to bring to the North American buyers. By making a lot of noise, they're going to build out an eventual cross-country sales and support network, and by offering a compelling product mix at more affordable pricing. For sure, the battery leasing program helps to lower the entry point of cost for many. And remember that this concept isn't new. It's been active in Europe actually for quite some time. And I was also told, as an example of how fast they're going to move, in California alone this year, they want to open 60 outlets. And as I also discussed with Hans, to facilitate growth plans into North America and Europe, VinFast is actively working on building a factory in Germany, which will produce electric cars and buses, as well as a secondary battery factory in the USA. And don't forget that their current factory has the capacity to double its scale in short order, with additional room to grow when needed. So folks, to wrap up this episode, I for one am very impressed by what I have seen and heard from VinFast, especially this last week. They are nimble, proud, and passionate about what they do, and it shows for these accelerated plans that they have for the global EV market space, as well as their commitment to go all in to EVs by the end of this year. They are certainly one to watch, and if any of you out there have put down reservations, I'd love to hear from you about how the experience went, what kind of feedback you get from them, and the eventual receipt of your EV. So a big congratulations, VinFast, and I wish you all the best of success. Oh, and don't forget, yes, I'd love to go to Vietnam for a tour. Wink, wink. All right, and that's it for this edition of the EV Revolution Show. Hope you enjoyed it, my show, and hope you learned a lot more about VinFast. Thanks very much for watching on YouTube. If you have not subscribed, please do. It would mean a lot to me. You can also click that bell, get notified of future episodes, and turn on your notifications. If you are a Patreon supporter, every show I give you my humble thanks. I'm always very appreciative for Patreon. If you're interested in finding more how you can help me out, you can check out the link below. Continue, please, to stay safe. Still not over. We're not out of the woods by a long stretch. Use your common sense and take care of yourselves, your loved ones, and your families and friends. And continue to watch the EV Marketplace. This is a busy year. I've already got a couple shows out of the gate, and it's only the second week of January. Oh my goodness, it's going to be busy. So until the next episode, again, everybody stay safe, and I will see you when I see you. Take care and bye-bye.